And many thanks for joining us on Nationwide, live on the network service of the NTA. I'm Ian Ray John. Welcome. The All Progressives Congress presidential campaign train was in Makada, the Benue State capital, in continuation of its nationwide campaign. President Muhammadu Buhari promised to do everything within his powers to ensure free and fair elections. Political correspondent Salihu Abdullahi monitored the rally and now reports.
According to the INEC statistics of prospective registered voters ahead of the 2019 elections, North Central Geopolitical Zone has over 13 million voters, representing 15.91%. Benue State, like other 5 states in the North Central Zone, is significant to actualizing the APC's desire for success in the forthcoming polls. Impressed by the reception given to the campaign team, APC stalwarts appreciated Nigeria's diversity, which should be embraced to promote a peaceful and united Nigeria so as to fast-track the desired development in line with leadership agenda of President Muhammadu Buhari.
Nations do not get developed because their leaders wallow in self-pity. Nations develop when leaders create ideas to deal with challenges that confront humanity from day to day. And that is why today I have not come to lament the failure of the current governor. I have come with a message of hope that with Jimmy as the next governor, salary will be paid as and when due.
We'll have a wonderful relationship with the Fulanese. We have no problems with the Fulanese. I was governor of Benue State for 8 years. We didn't have any problem at all. We value our relationship. In this complex federation, relationships must subsist. We are for you.
That by the grace of God, Mr. President, you will see wonders. If we gave you 70%, by the grace of God, we are already improving. Expect us along 80 and 90%. And that is how we will join you to the next level.
President Muhammadu Buhari promised to be consistent in policies and remain focused in upholding the 3 cardinal agenda of his administration, which he said is impacting on the nation's prosperity.
You are very lucky. Benue State was relatively peaceful then, but the people of the Northeast, the 6 states, they know what they were going through. Boko Haram used to occupy at least 17 local governments. We thank the military. They are now holding no single local government. I'll do my best to provide security to make sure elections are free and fair.
The APC presidential rally continues in Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital. Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has arrived at Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital, in continuation of the presidential campaign rally in the state. We'll keep you updated. Moving on, the Comptroller General of Customs, who is also the national leader of the Buhari Support Organization, Hamid Ali, said the organization has commenced door-to-door campaign across the country to ensure the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari and APC candidates in the forthcoming general elections. The custom boss said this while leading APC canvassers to Karumajiji, a satellite community in the Federal Capital Territory. Political correspondent Salihu Abdullahi reports.
As political parties drum up support ahead of the forthcoming polls, the Buhari Support Organization has identified voter education and campaign at the grassroots as among key essential strategies to renew people's confidence and enhance APC's chances of victory during the polls.
This time around 73 parties. So we deem it is very necessary. The success of our election is dependent on voter education. And also that the ballot paper is going to be big. How can they fold it without rendering the ballot papers invalid? How can they really fingerprint and put their fingers and put on the spot that is needed? So this is, in a nutshell, why we are out visiting communities to educate them, to also canvass for their support on the 16th of February.
The organization believes that re-electing President Muhammadu Buhari is critical so as to consolidate on the achievements and move the country to the next level of infrastructure and economic development.
As a government, there is more that we can do. That is why I'm imploring them, for them to go in and route in for us so that we can do more for them.
Residents in Karumajiji have affirmed government's gesture and promised to support the re-election bid of President Muhammadu Buhari. Similar exercise is expected by the Buhari Support Organization across the country. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And still talking politics, but moving to the South region now, stakeholders of the APC in Akwa Ibom State have stressed the need to sustain the people-oriented policies of President Muhammadu Buhari. They made this known at a rally in Ikotekpene local government area of Akwa Ibom State, where they urged the people to support the president's re-election bid for the good of Nigeria. Miriam Vincent-Oku reports.
The thrust of the massively attended campaign rally was the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari as a reward for his good governance in Nigeria since 2015. Senator Godswill Akpabio said Nigeria is blessed with the Muhammadu Buhari presidency, hence he deserves re-election. He also called for support for the APC governorship candidate Obong Sima-Ekere, whom he believes will take Akwa Ibom State to greatness.
Buhari believes in you. He believes in the masses. Buhari is not a billionaire because he doesn't want to steal your money.
All APC people, you will vote them.
Governorship candidates of the APC, Obong Sima-Ekere, promised to replicate the development style of leadership of President Buhari in Akwa Ibom State and continue to make the APC Nigeria's beautiful bride as a political party.
We can banish poverty. We can banish unemployment. We can make sure, okay, those of you that want to be businessmen, we can help you to start your businesses.
The Ikotekpene rally, which was preceded by that of Obodokara, was like a carnival where supporters celebrated the expected victory of the APC at the federal, state and other positions.
They have decided to give 100%. Your local government, you give the governor 100.
In Ikotekpene local government area of Akwa Ibom State, Miriam Vincent-Oku, NTA News.
The All Progressives Congress has assured the people of Eastern Northeast and Eastern Central of Edo State of more infrastructural development and effective governance, as well as purpose-driven representation. This was when Governor Godwin Obaseki led the party stalwarts to a mega rally in Uromi and Irua, respectively. Good luck, Inaini reports.
At the local government council field, venue of the rally at Uromi, supporters of the party turned out in their numbers in clear solidarity with the party. Governor Godwin Obaseki, visibly impressed, assured the people of more patronage and urged them to vote APC all the way. The state chairman of the party, Ansem Ojezua, expressed confidence in the candidates, promising that they will make the people proud.
If you will not empower me, I could do the work. No. If you will not give me better people, make them go Abuja, go represent us. They go know what's in the happen for Abuja, give me money. No. Make we send people when they go like also go Abuja. Make we be one. Edo is one. If we must have representatives in Abuja to support our president, then you must come out and vote. Not only you, but you, your neighbors, your friends, your family. Everybody must come out.
At Irua, the party received new members as over 3,000 defectors joined APC. Governor Obaseki and party stewards charged members to work for victory in the forthcoming elections. The governor disclosed that a considerable number of roads in the area had been contracted out for construction. The party's candidates vying in various positions assured the people of effective representation. From Irua, Goodluck Inaini, NTN News.
And away from the All Progressives Congress now, presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, Omoyele Sowore, has promised to provide adequate infrastructure in all sectors if elected as president come February 16th. He said this at the mega rally of the party in Benin City. Adogbeji Ojegba reports.
The presidential candidate, Omoyele Sowore, said agriculture and infrastructural development occupies a pride of place in his manifestos.
We will give you 24/7 electricity in our lifetime. Before you clap for me, I am promising to deliver it in less than 2.5 years. And that will hook up over 40 million homes from generation to transmission and distribution.
The Edo State Chairman of the African Action Congress, AAC, Dr. Greg Okobo, said they are hopeful of their candidate's victory come February 16.
Omoyele has made the platform available for everybody to come on board so that we can add our own quota to our country, so that we can be part of leadership.
Some upcoming artists were on hand to entertain the supporters. In Benin, Adogbeji Ojegba, NTA News.
And away from politics, Nigerians are advised to rise above sentiment and ethnicity to pursue national interest for the overall growth of the country. Discussants on NTA Current Affairs program Tuesday Live were unanimous on this, while stressing the implications of conniving with external forces to destabilize the polity. Talatu Izurike reports.
Globally, countries are guided by foreign policies anchored on respect on their respective territorial integrity, occasioned by non-direct interference in their internal affairs or policy. Observers on international relations are of the view that interferences are allowed only when they are positive, evident of which was Nigeria's peacekeeping role in countries such as Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Sudan to stabilize their polity. The narratives in recent time are of concern for many, especially with suspected reports of politicians conniving with external forces to destabilize the forthcoming elections. This is compounded by stand taken by some international bodies over the recent government action to suspend Justice Walter Onoge for alleged infractions. The development, analysts say, could threaten national security and slow growth.
Anyone that accuses President Muhammadu Buhari or his party of trying to rig elections is being too clever by half, or at best, or totally irresponsible and reckless, because there is no record of the president, interfering in elections and so on. And the best person to ask is the governor of Anambra State.
If somebody feels he has a disadvantage, so what do I do to make everybody start thinking that I'm actually strong when I'm not?
Politics should be a game of service rather than a game of investments.
For others, such actions might have some political undertones, given that President Muhammadu Buhari has consistently promised free and fair elections and has signed a peace accord to such effect.
There is a wide difference, and I think that President Muhammadu Buhari should be commended for creating a space where his party sometimes wins election, some other time they lose election. Gone are the days of do or die affair.
In advanced countries, when we are talking about campaigns, you look at the funding of the campaigns. Are we really complying with the constitutional provisions?
Analysts believe that for nations to continue to enjoy global respect accorded them by international conventions, undue external interference on domestic issue needs to be discouraged for national security, for advancement.
After all, it is a globally accepted fact that no nation develops in a state of anarchy and instability. Talat Ezerike, NTA News.
In other news, the Buhari Media Organization has welcomed the appointment of former Tanzanian President Dr. Jakaya Kikwete as head of the 20-member Commonwealth Observer Group for the February 16 presidential election, but is demanding fairness from the team. A statement signed by its chairman, Niyi Akinshiju, and secretary, Kasti Maduke, BMO says its concern is that the team leader is a well-known friend of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. The group stressed that many Nigerians are worried that the head of the Commonwealth Observer Group may be swayed by Obasanjo's skewed pre-election position that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, does not have the integrity to conduct free, fair and credible elections. However, the group says it is encouraged by the values that the Commonwealth holds sacrosanct, the fact that the head of the Election Observer team has a track record as a peacemaker, especially in the Great Lakes region of East Africa. BMO, however, assured the Commonwealth team and other observer missions of the readiness of the Buhari administration to ensure a favorable atmosphere for a credible general election. In the first of her two-day fact-finding visits to Nigeria ahead of the forthcoming general elections, former Liberian president and head of the ECOWAS Observer Mission, Erling Johnson Sirleaf, has engaged with INEC chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu. Dennis Adegunloye reports that she commended Nigeria's contributions to 15 years of peace enjoyed in Liberia and emphasized Nigeria's strategic importance in Africa.
It's a pleasure for me to be a part of this process, having gone through a political transition myself, having gone through these processes of peace after years of destruction. I'm very pleased that I will be a part of what we know will be in Nigeria a process of election that ensures that Nigeria continues to play the pivotal role of leadership that it does in our continent.
The INEC boss thanked the former Liberian leader for honoring the invitation of the Commission to be one of the several international observers of the elections and congratulated her for the key role she plays in the elections in the sub-region. He assured of the Commission's appreciation of the interest of the international community in the elections.
I want to assure you that as we approach the 2019 general elections, the Commission is not unaware that the eyes of the world are on Nigeria and on our elections. This Commission will not fail Nigerians, will not fail the sub-region, and will not fail the world. We are going to prove that what happened in 2015 was simply not a fluke, and that 2019 is also going to be yet another landmark in our democratic process.
Mrs. Sirleaf will also interact with other major players in the elections, details of which will come in our subsequent bulletins. This is Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. Now time to join Hingino in Lagos for more reports.
Thank you, Yara, and welcome to Lagos. Senator representing Lagos Central Senatorial District, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has charged women in Lagos State to use their numerical strength among registered voters to ensure the All Progressives Congress excels in the forthcoming general elections. Senator Tinubu met the call at the party's women rally at Campus Square Stadium in Lagos Island. Nosa Osla reports.
Senator Oluremi Tinubu urged women to rise to the challenge once again by mobilizing support for all APC candidates in the forthcoming general elections. The state's APC women leader, Jumoke Okoya-Thomas, also charged women to turn out massively and exercise their constitutional rights at the polling booths in favor of APC.
Women are the voters in this country, and we have promised we will deliver at least 2 million of the expected 3 million votes in Lagos State.
And Lagos State be a cosmopolitan state. Lagos State women, whether we are workers, whether we are professionals, whether we are stars or, actresses or actors or whatever, we have a role to play in the governance of
of Lagos State.
Lagos State APC governorship candidate Babajide Sanwo-Olu assured women of active participation in politics if given the mandates.
And all the indices have shown that when you empower a woman, you not only empower a family, you actually empower a nation. And we need to bring away all of the skepticism, all of the little things we talk. We need to remove it and give them their rightful position in all spheres of life.
Women were urged to get involved in politics so they could occupy more elective positions in the country. In Lagos, Nusa Osula, NTA News.
Cancer is no respecter of person, regardless of age and social status. It is not surprising that the scourge is on the increase. The theme for this year's World Cancer Day is I Am and I Will. Staff of NTA Lagos Network Center had the opportunity for free screening. According to the World Health Organization, about 24.6 million people live with cancer worldwide, and 12.5% of all deaths are attributed to the disease, making it one of the leading causes of death globally. In Nigeria, more than 200 people die daily as a result of cancer. It is also estimated that by 2020, about 16 million new cases will be diagnosed annually.
About 85% of cancer are not hereditary. They are linked to behavioral factors and environmental factors. So really for screening, the screening for cancer, you have different cancers, have different recommendations. If you do not check regularly, you will not be able to know that you have a cancer that is actually coming up. But if you are able to detect it early, most of them are preventable.
Meanwhile, the management of NTA has taken the fight against cancer to its doorstep by collaborating with Pink Cruise to offer free screening to its staff and residents of Victoria Island. Some beneficiaries speak.
I've done all my tests and everything is okay.
We have been given that opportunity free to know our status, our health status.
I want to advise everybody out there, if you've not tried this out, please do it for yourself. It is good.
Cancer does not rest. That is why people should act by attacking it today. In Lagos, joint registration and regulation of medicines produced locally or imported into the African region will improve access to quality medicines and ensure better regulatory oversight. This was the submission of participants at the end of the steering committee meeting of the West African Medicines Regulatory Harmonization Project in Lagos. Joy Ken Abakwe has detail.
For 2 days, members of the steering committee of the West African Medicines Regulatory Harmonization Project, drawn from the 15 ECOWAS countries, gathered to deliberate and strategize on how to harmonize standards in the production of pharmaceutical products within the African region. The sole aim is to ensure access to quality and affordable medicines. Director General, West African Health Organization, WAHO, says the meeting became necessary following the high incidence of substandard and falsified medicines circulating in the region. He emphasized the importance of controlling laboratories, jointly regulating and registering drugs in Africa.
Access to high quality, effective, safe medicines is security in terms of having the drugs when we need them, not just drugs but also vaccines.
Representatives of the various regulatory authorities at the meeting, including Nigeria's NAFDAC, recommended that connecting loose borders be tightened, bureaucratic bottlenecks be eased, and support for member states be strengthened.
We have 15 countries, and all countries are not the same. But when it comes to challenges, we have the same set of challenges. But once we collaborate, then we strengthen each other.
We consider that this integration is better for us, and when doing that, we are improving the region as a whole.
The World Health Organization and the World Bank were represented at the 5th Steering Committee meeting. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakwe, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Lagos. It's back to Abuja for more reports on Nationwide.
Many thanks, Hingino. And staying with health matters, health ministers, commissioners and other key individuals in the health sector are meeting to chart a new course in tackling the high prevalence rate of HIV and tuberculosis in the country. Chimdima Ndubisi was at the stakeholders' annual review forum and now reports.
About 3.1 million are identified as persons living with HIV, with a gap of more than 1 million people who do not know their status. On tuberculosis, Nigeria is now the country with highest cases in Africa. So far, identification and treatment rate of these diseases across the country is low, with few health facilities catering for health needs of those affected. With all these in view, key individuals in the health sector are gathered to review programs meant to tackle HIV and TB in the country.
To let our commissioners know that we need to work harder. One, to increase awareness about TB. TB is preventable, it is treatable, it is curable.
The states do more to commit resources, rehabilitate their hospitals and facilities, revitalize primary health care, and let people get tested.
The government provided resources for us to buy drugs, 394 gene expert machines in 318 local governments.
The national target is to diagnose and place on treatment 90% of persons living with HIV, as well as successfully treat more than 1 million cases of TB by 2022 and 2030. In Abuja, Chimdima Ndubisi, NTA News.
Many thanks, Chimdima. And away from health, the federal government has expressed concern over the inability of Cameroonian authorities to allow 35,000 displaced persons from Ran community in Borno State entry into Cameroon to seek refuge. This was revealed at a press briefing in Maiduguri during donation of relief items to the IDPs by the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons. Amina Fidi Amadou reports.
It could be recalled that on the 14th of January 2019, Boko Haram insurgents attacked Ran community of Kalabelgi local government area of Borno State, leading to the displaced persons seeking refuge in Cameroon but were denied entry. Sadia Umar Farouk said such act has left the commission devastated, hence the visit to Borno to attend to the immediate needs of the displaced persons. The federal commissioner, while quoting a section of the 1951 UN Convention, urged the Cameroonian authority to rescind its decision and take necessary steps to support the displaced persons.
We have taken the most appropriate one by intimating the Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs to call the Cameroonian authorities for a talk. It is a convention which the government of Cameroon has signed, so we expect them to respect the principles of that convention.
Sadia Umar Farouk recalled that over 40,000 Cameroonian refugees were allowed into Nigeria since October 2017, adding that the Commission provided support to them where they are camped in Cross River, Benue, Akwa Ibom, Taraba States, and the FCT. Items presented to support the displaced persons include large consignment of rice, maize, millet, beans, and soya beans, cooking oil, tomato paste, sugar, and blankets. The items have been presented to the Borno State government for distribution to the affected persons through the chairman, Borno State Emergency Management Agency, Yaba Okolo. In Maiduguri, Amina Fidi Amadou, NTA News.
This is Africa's largest television network. Nationwide returns after this quick break. Do stay.
Hate speech is not a joke. It incites genocide and crimes against humanity. Most of Africa's civil wars are caused by hate speech from one tribe against another. We don't want it here. The Nigerian government stands firm against hate speech.
Under no conditions whatsoever should we tolerate or excuse or justify hate speech or hateful conduct of any kind, especially where such is illegal.
There's no doubt that the resurgent push for separatism, as well as the rising cases of ethnic and religious disharmony, are all traceable to the growing phenomenon of hate speech.
One nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Nigeria, one nation, one people.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
My Niger people, make we make the right choice, yo. Make we vote for a man of integrity. Hey, and so make we gather together and make this change. Work, my people of Nigeria. Together we go carry Niger to the next level. Niger don't decide. Vote Baba Buhari. Baba Buhari, the man of integrity. Hey, vote Baba Buhari. Man, we no corrupt, we no go chop our money. Hey, agriculture, the next level. Fight corruption, the next level. Good roads, to the next level. Electricity, to the next level. Railway, the next level. Empower, the next level. Trade money. For good health we go. Baba Buhari. My people, for the next level. APC, next level. Naija people, make we all come out to vote Baba Buhari.
This message is from Buhari Next Level Group.
I have seen these young Africans prosper, from some who didn't even know what to do with their lives until they got the $5,000 seed capital from Tony Elumelu Foundation, and the mentorship and the training that gladdens my heart.
I saw this ad about the Tony Elumelu Foundation. I applied. That was the pivotal moment.
Africa Fashion Week London just came after I participated in the Tony Elumelu Foundation entrepreneurship program.
Tony Elumelu, grâce à sa fondation, permet de donner une boussole à tous les entrepreneurs de cette fondation.
Our role is not only to empower young Africans directly, we should be a voice, advocate, catalyst for economic empowerment of Africa.
The future of Africa is in your hands.
Become a Tony Elumelu entrepreneur. Apply now.
What is the real value of the money you receive on election day in order to cast your vote for a candidate? Note that the money you receive is all you will be paid in the next 4 years the candidate will be in office. He has paid you in advance for 4 years' service. How much do you value yourself? Is that small change offered what you are worth? They have bought your silence so that they and their children can live well. Is 13 kobo per day or even 68 kobo per day worth it? Think twice. Don't sell your future. Don't sell your vote. 4 years is a long time. This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
Glad to have you back. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says his attention has been drawn to the allegation by the Conference of Nigeria Political Parties, CNPP, Kwara State Chapter, claiming that the federal government is planning to clamp down on opposition parties in the state ahead of the forthcoming general elections. The minister stated this in Abuja. Anthony Forson reports.
The Information and Culture Minister, while describing the allegation as a panic reaction by the opposition, said they are propelled by the imminent defeat they will suffer in the upcoming elections, having tasted the same in November last year.
This allegation by the shadowy CNPP is a panic reaction to my consistent call on the security agencies to rid Kwara State of all known thugs and other criminals ahead of the elections in order to provide a level playing field for all the parties.
He restated that the success beckoning at APC in the state has sent shivers down the spines of the opposition since their talks have been chased away from polling stations.
We have no apologies for leading the state of these delinquents. However, all law-abiding Kwarans have nothing to be afraid of, as the security agencies have assured that they will provide the enabling peaceful environment for voters to exercise their franchise. We therefore call on all the good people of Kwara State to disregard the orchestrated hysteria by the so-called CMPP, which is nothing but the face of the drowning dynasty that has held Kwara State by the jugular for years.
Meaning, enough is enough. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
A chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, Mr. Osita Okechukwu, says the recent endorsement of the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party by a coalition of social cultural organizations in Nigeria, including Ohaneze Ndi Igbo and Afenifere, will not in any way affect the chances of President Muhammadu Buhari winning the February 16th presidential poll. Mr. Okechukwu stated this in an interview with NTA News crew in Enugu. Jude Abugu reports.
Reacting to the endorsement of PDP presidential candidate by the socio-cultural groups, Mr. Okechukwu alleged that those behind the endorsement benefited from the previous administrations and were not happy with the president's war on corruption. He called on Nigerians to ignore the endorsement as the groups did not speak the mind of the people they claim to represent.
Majority of the governors of the Southeast, the traditional rulers, and the people are behind President Muhammadu Buhari. So I don't know how effective Ohaneze endorsement, faction endorsement will be when the people of Enugu State, the people of Ebonyi, the people of Anambra, the people of Imo, the people of Abia, and their governors are behind President Muhammadu Buhari.
He described the move by the socio-cultural organizations as an effort in futility, since most Nigerians have declared support for the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, which has made life better for Nigerians through his numerous programs and projects across the country.
He just completed the tour of the Southeast, and all the governors placed red carpets and gave him a rousing reception. For me, it is the highest endorsement. The reception by the people of the country in the states President Muhammadu Buhari had visited shows that they recognize that he has embarked on the massive infrastructure development of the country.
Mr. Okechukwu also enjoined President Buhari's supporters in the southeast and other parts of the country not to be distracted by the endorsement, but to continue with their mobilization of electorate for the re-election of the president. In Enugu, Jude Abugu, NTA News.
And staying with Enugu, Minister of Foreign Affairs Geoffrey Onyema wants citizens of Enugu State, particularly members of the All Progressives Congress who are yet to collect the permanent voters card, to do so before the February 8th INEC deadline to enable them vote for President Muhammadu Buhari. He made a request at the continuation of the local government campaign tour for the re-election of the president and the APC in the state. Makut Simon Macha reports.
On the third day of the local government grassroots mobilization campaign for President Muhammadu Buhari and the APC in Enugu State, Minister of Foreign Affairs Geoffrey Onyema and the Kusike political movement visited Nkanu East and Enugu South local government areas. This time, the minister was joined by the Director General of the Voice of Nigeria, Osita Okechukwu, and other party stalwarts in the state who all continued their mobilization for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari and the APC. The minister reminded them of the 8th February deadline for the collection of permanent voters' cards, asking them to beat the deadline in order to avoid being shut out.
He has run for president 3 times before
and lost each time before he finally won. All he has, his only ambition, is to transform our country.
It's very easy to say you are marginalized and you go home sulking. Beacon is made only 4 years for people to produce president. If we go to President Muhammad Buhari.
Earlier, members of the Buhari Youth Support Group for the state were inaugurated by the Southeast Coordinator, Youth Contact Mobilization, Ude Adolphus, in an event witnessed by the Foreign Affairs Minister, Jeffrey Onyama. In Enugu, Makut Simon Macham, NTA News.
It's now time to take a trip to Port Harcourt, where the Babari is standing by with more reports. Hello.
Good afternoon, Inria, and welcome to Port Harcourt. Commissioner of Police, Rivers State, Usman, as the force in Rivers State, will conduct the forthcoming general elections professionally. The CP stated this at an interactive session with eminent personalities and other stakeholders on the 2019 general elections. Dianikume Ulolo was there.
The stakeholders and eminent personalities interact is aims at peaceful and credible 2019 elections in Rivers State. Commissioner of Police, Rivers State, Usman Bele, emphasized the need to spread the gospel of peace before, during, and after the general elections, assuring that the police will remain apolitical in keeping with its constitutional mandate.
The police force in Rivers is a political and a very professional service. We have known where the problem lies, and we are going to nip those problems in the bud.
On the part of INEC,
I think this has been a very wonderful opportunity for us to talk to ourselves about the need for us to have credible election in Rivers State, and that is what we in INEC promise to.
Rivers State Traditional Council of Chiefs, Dadison Jaja, represented by Amanabo of Cricket Kingdom, King Tamunu Emmanuel Opio, urged the police commissioner to be patriotic in service, assuring that the traditional rulers will pursue peace during the elections.
We will do whatever it takes to ensure that there is peace, so that our youth will not engage in violence.
The stakeholders meeting had in attendance candidates of various political parties in Rivers State, non-governmental organizations, and sister paramilitary agencies in Port Harcourt. Dianikume Ulolo, NTA News.
Many thanks, Dibaburi. We sincerely apologize. That's the march you can take on nationwide today. Now time to move over to Nasarawa State, Lafia in particular, where Hamza Rakarfe is standing by for the live coverage of the APC presidential rally.